What's going on, Vikings Nation? So training camp is taking place. We already know that. We're about today's day 7, but we're going to talk about day 6 and what we are actually seeing on the field. And one storyline that I would like to address is that this Brian Flores' new defense that he's bringing into Minnesota is going to be pretty dominant. Okay, it's going to be wild. There's going to be people moving in places that probably should have happened last year. Lots of blitzing. Okay, last year we really didn't blitz at all. And that really held us back. We didn't win many games and stuff like that. But so far in training camp, we're even turning heads of veteran players, or at least players that were on the team last year that said, look, we didn't even learn about any of this stuff or do any of these things till like week 3 of training camp or like later in the preseason. We had no idea what was going on. And now he's throwing us basically to the wolves. Okay, he's like, here's all the things that we're going to do. Let's do them correctly, and it is going to be absolutely wild. Some people may think our defense isn't going to be great because, yes, we are younger in the secondary, but with Brian Flores, I have the utmost respect and trust that he is going to put us in the right direction for success this season. I mean, look what he did with the Miami Dolphins, one of the worst defenses in the league. He becomes their head coach. Bam! They're like top 10 defense every single year that he's their coach. So, hey, defense is going to be dominant. So what's going on during training camp day 6? Here's some notes. First one being that Brian Flores' defense is going to be wild. Everyone, okay, repeat it, everyone is blitzing. Everyone is all over the place. Opposing offenses are officially on notice. Last year, very stagnant defense. No moving, no motion, no blah, blah, blah. Okay, it was just straight up zone coverage, basically. Nobody was going to be blitzing, so they could run the ball whenever they felt like it, okay, because we weren't getting pressure and stuff like that. The quarterback had a lot of time to throw the ball, but this defense is moving around. It's going to make the opposing offenses kind of second-guess their decision-making process, all right? So this defense is going to be wild. Now, cornerback Mekhi Blackman, who we drafted this season, has worked with the ones again today. I believe that's back-to-back days, or at least he's worked with the ones multiple days during training camp, which is good news because that's why we drafted him, all right? We wanted a cornerback that could potentially take over a starting role on this defense. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. Juwan Williams, Byron Murphy Jr., and who's the other one? Caleb Evans are so far the guys that are kind of taking over those number 1 roles. So we'll see kind of what goes forward with that. Now, cornerback Tay Gowan, pronounce his name wrong. If I did, I apologize. Looking strong on special teams. Look, special teams is a place where a lot of these guys who want to make it to the NFL and have a chance, that is where they basically start off. Antonio Brown, right? Started off as a special teamer, was a stud, and now he became a superstar wide receiver. We don't need to talk about all of his off-field issues because now I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's kind of crazy. But at the same time, he's looking strong on special teams. Tay Gowan, that is. So I'm pumped up for him. He could make the team on the special teams, which is good news for his career. Also, linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. was spotted working with the ones. This is a guy that we all knew and had a lot of excitement for, okay? Coming out of college from Cincinnati, I do believe everyone's, hopped on the Ivan Pace hype train, if you will. We need some help at linebacker. Ivan Pace could definitely fill that role, and he does fly around. He makes some plays. He never quits on the plays from what I can remember off his highlights and stuff like that from Cincinnati. So Ivan Pace Jr. spotted work at the ones. We'll see how that kind of transpires throughout the rest of camp and preseason. Also, linebacker Troy Dye was also spotted working with the ones, been on the team for a couple years now. He has started a couple games. We've seen some good things out of him. We've seen some inconsistencies out of Troy Dye. But this right here just basically means he's in a camp battle right now, okay? Trying to figure out who's going to take over that other role at linebacker. Troy Dye and Ivan Pace Jr. working with the ones so far. We'll see, again, how that transpires throughout the rest of training camp and preseason. And finally, this is kind of a no-brainer. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson continue to gel perfectly. Okay, I mean, Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver in the NFL. Looks like he's not even lost a step, but maybe gotten better. Okay, watch out for a potential MVP type season. It's kind of a stretch because mainly quarterbacks win that. But Offensive Player of the Year definitely could go to Justin Jefferson. Just watch. 2,000 yards receiving this season. Hey, I said it here first. Justin Jefferson's going to get it. I promise you. Well, I'm not going to promise anything, but I think he has the capability of doing so. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, gelling perfect. That is what we need to see. So what's going on negatively at camp? Let's talk about some injuries. It's just part of the game. It happens every single year. Yesterday, there was a big injury, another injury that was kind of questionable. Here it is, the injuries. First off, the big one. Tristan Jackson went down and was carted off the field after what appeared to be a right knee injury. I haven't seen any updates on what this is at this point. If there is any serious updates, we'll be the first to let you guys know, okay? This guy he had a chance to make the team probably on special teams, maybe as a depth chart piece, maybe practice squad player. So not a huge injury. It's not a starter that went down or anything like that, but it is one to keep note of. Also, this one, kind of questionable. Andrew Booth Jr. left the field with a trainer, and the reason is unknown at this time. Okay, could have pulled a hammy, could have tweaked his ankle, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. He did leave the field with an athletic trainer. Hopefully he's okay. I'm assuming it's nothing serious, because if it was, I think it would be blown up more than it is, or more than it has been, at least in the last couple days, or at least the last day or two. Now, Alexander Madison. Also limped off the field towards the end of practice, but doesn't seem to be serious. He should be fine. He probably just, got a little Charlie horse in the leg, or whatever the case may be. Maybe just a little bit of a cramp. Maybe he tweaked his ankle. Not 100% sure, but since it doesn't seem to be serious, we have nothing to worry about. Alexander Madison should be A-okay. Plus, he's probably not going to play too much in the preseason, especially if he's going to be our number one running back. Jalen Naylor is still not practicing after his leg injury last week and is considered day-to-day. They're not going to rush him into anything. They want to make sure he's 100% ready to rock and roll, because he's going to be seeing, I believe, a lot of time during the preseason, because he is one of those receivers that might make the roster, that very well could make the roster as a depth chart piece, which would be fantastic because he does have some pretty good speed. Could be a punt returner, could be a kick returner, stuff like that, maybe on the special teams. Jalen Naylor could also see his way on the field this season, especially if Jalen Reagor doesn't do anything like he basically hasn't done the last couple seasons, all right? And last but not least, Brian O'Neill continues to improve on his Achilles rehab, and he practiced with pads on. Brian O'Neill is going to be 100% healthy by the start of the regular season. I cannot wait, but the one big takeaway is this Minnesota Vikings defense is going to be dominant. Mark my words. People are looking at us like we're a bunch of Joe Schmoes out there. We're not going to do anything. We have a young secondary. This defense isn't going to be good. It's going to be a lot like last season. I say hold the horses, okay? Brian Flores is going to make sure that doesn't happen again, okay? We don't have Ed Donatel no more. We got Brian Flores, who knows how to turn defenses around, and they are already flying around, making the offense kind of, holy crap, what is going on here? So, hey, expect a lot of blitzes, expect a lot of confusion on the offensive side because of our defense. This defense is going to be dominant. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and Skol Vikes.